That song will forever, I think, bop for me. I don't know why. Jobber Nation, welcome to another episode of the Jobbertears podcast. As always, I'm Janelle from HR here with Sir Wilkins and MrBlacc. We are back. Before we do get into talking about this week in wrestling, and also we're gonna definitely start off the show with some of your questions. Whether it's on Instagram, if you guys are watching on the live feed, if you have questions for this week, please put them in the comments. I do have a few that had asked on Facebook on my post, so we're definitely going to get to some questions. We appreciate any questions, so just please make sure to put them down below. Before we get to that, we do have some announcements. So once again, this Saturday, Father's Day weekend, Juneteenth weekend, we're having Do the Fight Thing 2, Battle Club Pro, so make sure to come out and support. According to my lovely business partner, this year's June show is the highest pre-sale that we've ever had. So we do appreciate everyone that's come out so far and gotten their tickets. What?
4 tickets.
The 4-pack.
The 4-pack. Save $5, B. Save $5. 4-pack. So that's no excuses, B. You could bring both set of your kids,
but
B.
But just keep in mind, so once again, tickets are on sale online until tomorrow on the live feed until Friday. We will be selling tickets at the door, but the 4-pack will not be available. So do not think you're gonna roll up with 4 of your friends at this door and tell me, Janelle, can I get the 4-pack? No, you gotta get the tickets now. So make sure to you can go on to, once again, Battle Club Pro on any of our social media platforms and to purchase tickets for this weekend. So we do thank all the sponsors that have put in their time and their money into the show for this weekend. Once again, so we do thank them. The next time we'll be back at Legends will be for Forbidden Door, and a lot of the questions that I got on Facebook were actually about Forbidden Door, so we're gonna get into that. But once again, our viewing party for Forbidden Door will be Sunday, June, I believe, the 26th. So if you're not going to be in Toronto and you're in the tri-state area, come through. And then that same week, later on that Saturday, July 1st, we'll be back at Legends for Money in the Bank. This year's Money in the Bank, and we're going to talk about that a little bit because I feel like it now has started to really take shape. Really, I feel like it could be the year where you really don't know who's going to win. Everyone has favorites. Everyone has ones you want to win. But this may be the most unpredictable Money in the Bank in a minute. So we're going to get into that as well because that definitely goes into This Week in Wrestling where we have some more qualifying matches and things of that nature. Other than that, what else is going on? How are you guys in real life?
Life is good.
How art thou?
You got Jobber Slam coming up.
Woo! So as Sir Wilkins just mentioned, and he will actually be the host, the master of ceremonies for this Saturday's show. He will be giving a very special announcement pertaining to he is struggling pertaining to Jobber Slam. So we will be announcing our main event for Jobber Slam this Saturday at Battle Club Pros. Do the Fight Thing 2. So make sure to come out and support. It will be a shocker to the world. So we want to make sure that everyone comes out and supports. So once again, July 29th, Jobber Slam. We're going to call it the Jobber Slam Experience because once again, it will also have our NXT viewing party the following day.
You're playing me right now, man.
He over here having a one-on-one battle with the iPad. To Andre's note, Swole, unfortunately, she will be taking the remaining of the year off of wrestling. So we do hope to have her in 2024.
Big Swole?
Yes. So she once again. Okay, we can.
It's been a while.
But all right, I'm trying to think of anything else before we do get started. I do want to give a very, very special happy birthday to. We got 2 special birthdays today in real time. 2 of our network friends, family members. One half of Sazon Talk. So shout out to Amanda. Happy birthday to her.
Happy birthday,
and then our Twitter fingers, Mr. Izzy himself. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. To many more. We appreciate you guys in terms of not only your time but your loyalty to the brand, to the network.
We love y'all, man.
We appreciate
the Jobbertears Nation.
We appreciate all of you and what you've done for the Jobbertears network. So thank you. Those that are on the live feed, I know that's Carl. So shout out to Carl up in Maine, check out their podcast. But Carl, I need you to put your name at the end of your comment. I know it was you, but they don't know it was you.
I didn't know
Only because I knew who they were having on the show. So, anything else I can think of? No. All right, let's get to some questions. If you can scroll up, I'll start on the live feed if there was something up there. Can't wait for you guys to be on. Oh, we ain't on the podcast. I do believe that is the podcast we will be doing tonight.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Daniel Muhammad in the building. The Cowboys suck too, so don't worry about it. But yeah, if you can scroll on up.
What was the question?
See if you see any questions up there first.
Oh no. No, there was no questions.
Oh, okay. So then I'll go to the Facebook. Did you have any on Instagram or nothing? I feel like there was a question though. 50-50 for when? This Saturday or for Jobber Slam? I mean, Jobber Slam should be 100% Earl, but I digress. Okay, we'll get into Adam Cole. We'll talk about that match when we talk about This Week in Wrestling with the Adam Cole MJF, because I'm very happy with a particular situation. So we will get into that. But there's interesting. There's a lot of AEW questions too. So let's start with AEW Saturday. Okay. Oh, okay. Come spend Father's Day weekend with us. So with AEW right now, they're on the full speed ahead to Forbidden Door. They're starting to shape up. Their matches being announced. So Gene's question. Shout outs to Gene.
The 55-year-old
that looks about 21. Gene asks, how do y'all feel about the Forbidden Door card, and is it an upgrade from last year?
It's a good card. It's a really good card. It's a green matches. The fact that Okada is fighting
MJF.
No,
my bad.
Daniel Bryan.
That was
a little
Brian
racist
Danielson.
I'm sorry about that.
But that's a dream match. Will Ospreay versus Kenny That's gonna be fire. The rest of them I don't really care for. I just care for those two.
Yo, I was gonna wait until we talked about This Week in Wrestling, but for Jack Perry in a segment to request a world heavyweight title after you just lost a world heavyweight title match was beyond me. I said, how am I supposed to how you start off the promo with fucking talking about this is the summer of Jungle Hook? I was subscribed. I was like, okay.
I was too.
Yo, we about to have Jungle Hook for the summer? Cool. I was too. All right. And then he said, but before we get into that, I want a challenge for the IWPG World Heavyweights. I said, what the fuck? What? Did you just... Hook is standing right there. How do you just demand a world title match from a different company in front of your tag team partner? Like, what? Like, and then tell Hook, like, you're my friend? No, you're my best friend. First of all, who the fuck knew that? Second,
nobody.
It was like, what?
Nobody knew that.
I couldn't understand the thought process of that promo. Like, it didn't make me. It confused the fuck out of me, honestly, because I was like, you just lost a world title match. How are we ever talking about, hey,
because it don't make no sense.
I'm going for the world heavyweight title of New Japan.
Well, that's because they're trying to build up the fight for Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
Does it make sense 100%? Absolutely not.
Absolutely. No. 1, 2, 3. First of all, 123_freak. I don't know why that's your name, but that's hilarious. But I absolutely agree. Hook should fucking choke the shit out of him for even trying to embarrass him on fucking live TV that.
But the thing about it is that's the whole point. It's the point is just for them to get some buzz going for Forbidden Door. I don't know why he's the one who's fighting the guy, but the one thing
is Shibata. That's his name.
But listen. I will give
Sander. Yeah, Sander. I said you have Ricky Starks.
But the thing about it, Ricky Starks is not one of the 4 pillars.
Yeah, and
oh, I got Jade news. We'll talk about this later. But
why do you do that?
I heard some stuff about Jade. I think we'll get back to that later.
You did that to me. I feel like a few days ago and didn't say what it was. I was like, the hell?
Listen, he should listen. DeAndre, he should be, but he's not. What Tony is doing is investing in the future, and he's looking at his 4 pillars. And the 4 pillars are MJF.
I agree.
Darby Allin.
I agree.
Jungle Boy,
I agree.
and Sammy.
Yeah.
So you're
Which
saying
four were featured on the show? Who are all four were featured on the show last night?
correct.
All of them in major parts of the show.
But, okay. They probably might set up the second tier of the 4 pillars you also have on Rampage.
They don't care about that second pillar.
What are you talking about? They had Dan Garcia in a match at Forbidden.
He tagged with Zack Sabre Jr., which is random as fuck.
It's a tag team match.
So what?
Against who
Once
is
again,
it? Who they
it's a
going
tag
against?
team match.
It's him and Zack Sabre Jr. versus who? I
The
forgot.
thing about it, Daniel Garcia's ride is over.
Oh, isn't it Orange Cassidy and Darby?
He is parked. He is double parked, waiting for him to get into the lane. Get into the lane. He is double parked. The two lights are flashing in the back.
So I have a question then. Would you think, so we talk about the 4 pillars. Would you consider Orange Cassidy a 5th pillar?
Somebody just said that.
No,
Really? I didn't even see that.
no. It's wild that they view Darby a pillar over Orange Cassidy. I don't even like OC like that, but he's better and more over. Actually, he is not.
I don't agree with that, DeAndre. I'm so sorry.
He is not.
I like Darby more.
I think Orange. I like Orange Cassidy more than Darby. That's my personal opinion. But every time Orange Cassidy goes on, the numbers go down.
Correct. Every week.
For real?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm
ratings wise, absolutely does. Which was why it was crazy because for weeks he was opening up Dynamite, and let's say they would start at like 9:50 or something because Cornette and them do every quarter. So by 8:15, the shit done gone down about 20,000-30,000 people.
But the crazy thing about it, he's a good wrestler.
No, and
he's
that's
hella entertaining.
See, but that's the thing.
I don't
it's
understand.
always perception. So like how your brother said he liked Orange Cassidy over Darby. I think the lineage of that Darby had, I like the potential I think Darby has more than Orange Cassidy does. Like, I feel like the character that Orange Cassidy has is very, like, one-dimensional. So with Darby, I feel like there's definitely more, like, I feel like there's more character there than Orange Cassidy. I like both.
I'll just actually, like, do you think
I like both.
Do you think that people are not, okay. What I realize is that, like, and this is me from a reffing point of view, is I ref a ton of matches, right? I seen a ton of moves. I hear a ton of different setups, how to do certain things. You know what matches always stood out to me the most? The one that told a fucking story. Now, do you think, me bring that up, do you think that him not having stories going to these matches, having people want to tune out? Who?
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy?
Yeah.
You know who Orange Cassidy is? Dolph Ziggler.
He's the indie darling that everyone loves, but can't really get to the top.
He is Dolph Ziggler.
Man,
and I love Dolphy.
Wait.
I love Dolphy.
Wait, hold on.
Orange Cassidy is your
he's your workhorse.
He's your good hand.
He's your workhorse.
He's a good hand.
Okay.
And it's a detriment to him, and that's why it's been a detriment to somebody like Dolph Ziggler.
Because think about the title that he has. It's the international title. You would be 10 times more invested in the title matches that he had if there were stories to them.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
No, and that's what I'm saying. But once again, that's the difference in terms of the type of audience they're targeting. Their target audience, they just like matches. Which is why I always have to remind myself, this ain't really always for me. Because what they do is they do with certain particular people they build the stories with. And you invest it. And you're like, okay, I'm here for the ride. True. But niggas that have actual titles don't have storylines. Fuck it, I asked y'all that before we even got on air. I said, how the fuck Jack Swagger got a fucking title shot? Didn't know it was an open challenge. However, though, I would have rather, in some way or form, like let's say even Christian or Dinosaur Guy, they select his opponent.
We did that too much time.
No,
Stop.
but to add to that, but to add to their story.
But sometimes, because
that Jack Swagger shit, I was like, what the fuck is what?
Sometimes, you gotta take side quests.
No, but I don't think it's that though.
Listen, hold up. What I mean by side quest is sometimes you got to get these matches to make yourself look good. In the meantime, matches. You understand? Like, you might see, like, back in the day, you'll see Eddie Guerrero versus Charlie Haas, a random just 249 storyline. Hey, we need to put him on screen. Hey, him and Jack White have great chemistry. Why not?
But I don't.
And then in the meantime, you forget it set up Arn and his boy to run out, and then Arn got jumped.
But I think it's a little bit more than that. I think it's to establish the title. I think it's what you're saying, the chemistry and everything. But I think it's also okay. All right, he gets decent ratings, doesn't get the greatest ones. 9 out of 10 times, our Orange OC match does really well.
Okay.
I think, in my opinion, I think him and Will Ospreay stole the show.
Last year?
At Forbidden Door.
Oh,
nobody talks about that.
But even going to, and y'all know how I feel about fucking Shane Strickland. But even the match him and Shane had the other night was dope as fuck.
But that's what I'm saying. So then it establishes the title as that title, as the wrestler's title. So that's why. So okay, I'm gonna have a banger match with this title, the international title, whatever they're calling it now, and I'm gonna have a banger match with that. It's established. It's the workhorse title. Like when, for instance, I'll give you an example at another company. Seth Rollins, when he was IC champion,
right?
What was he doing? Ain't no real storylines he was doing. It was just him putting on matches.
Nah, him and Miz had a few.
I was about to say, I feel like he did have some stories in that.
Finn and the Miz.
Him and Finn.
Yeah,
but then in between that, it was just matches.
Yeah, so I was saying.
But the thing though is that it's
the same thing I said. But you expanded on it.
I'm agreeing with you.
But my thing but my thing is throwing in, let's say, like even the little seasoning in between. It's all about the timing. If you're building to a pay-per-view that is next weekend. Mm-hmm. Why are we not working in that?
But the thing about it, but we also got to understand this Forbidden Door is not canon. Forbidden Door is the Brawley story. Forbidden Door
is a Dragon Ball Z movie.
It's a Dragon Ball Z movie. Oh. That's what Forbidden Door is. Forbidden Door is a Dragon Ball Z movie. Because the thing about it, they have a pay-per-view like in a month.
They do, yeah.
Like another pay-per-view coming up real soon right after. Yeah. Forbidden Door is literally, hey, it's not about story. And that's the one thing I think sometimes people like me and you and other people who really enjoy like a good story to go into a pay-per-view have to understand. Forbidden Door is not for that.
But then if you're going to do that, then that has to be the entire fucking pay-per-view. That can't be, you can't pick and choose. Like, it's either you're going to be all in on the stories and how they connect, or you're not going to do stories at all. Because they have the Will and Kenny story. They have the, even Okada and Daniel Bryan story.
But it's not even really a story, though.
If they do CM Punk and Kenta.
But it's not really a story.
How?
Like literally, Daniel Bryan literally said, I want to fight you. Yeah. And Okada said, okay, my nigga, let's scrap.
But forever, they've been wanting the cross powers.
But the thing about it, that's not even really a story. That's
exhibition.
It's an exhibition match. Yeah. It's legit. It's
like Mayweather and Gotti last weekend when everybody was brawling?
Yeah, right. But the thing about it, that's what it is. Like, I get what you're saying, where like, because these people have passed. Like Will and Kenny, there's no story.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm fucking you up. Yeah. Kenny's like, nah, I'm gonna beat you up.
Yeah.
And that is it. The Okada versus Bryan Danielson is literally
a side quest.
It's a side quest, but it's like going for that extra. Anybody that play Final Fantasy, right? If you want to get the legendary weapons,
yeah,
you had to fight like these random gods.
Yeah.
So Bryan Danielson and Okada, legendary weapon is who's the best in the world.
Yeah.
That is literally what it is. It's a regular exhibition fight. After the fight, they hug, they go back to their regular worlds.
But the thing about it, that Dynamite also did a great way to set up other storylines too. For example, for the main event, you saw Daniel Bryan talking mad trash about the lead, right? Next thing you know, the lead had a little beef with the with his team. Next thing you know, how you set up Forbidden Door. Will Ospreay comes and attack Kenny. They did everything right on that episode.
That was the best thing I've seen because I gotta hold you. I love this motherfucker, Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
This nigga is a Dragon Ball Z fight waiting to happen.
Yeah.
That man there's no storytelling. I mean, he's gotten better. But this motherfucker here This is like, I'm ready. Every time I watch a Will Ospreay match, I am ready for him to do a Kamehameha.
Yeah.
I am ready for him to go, and then charge up.
Like right now, Will Ospreay, the way he's wrestling, he's in his Ultra Instinct right now. Because, you got to understand, right now he's working on instinct because he has a lot of injuries right now.
I have no idea.
But the thing about it, it's what we're seeing. The thing about, I get what you're saying with the come of the storyline, but it's like these are the things that.
Well, not even so much. I think so much of a hard storyline. Like I think for me it's just more of the buildup. Like, and that's more because of the type of fan that I am. I appreciate the buildup, so that's why I can appreciate the Will Ospreay entering last night on Dynamite. I can appreciate, even if it's a promo or two, I can appreciate all those things because that's what's going to get you invested in hype for the match. What I can't get with is just throwing together matches, even if it's a week apart. How are we going to build that? How are you going to be excited about that? That was my thing. When Jungle Boy Dead challenged that nigga, I said, how the fuck am I supposed to be excited about this?
It's their audience.
Right. No, and I say that.
And that's
I always
okay for
remind
their
myself.
Audience.
Absolutely.
Because at the same exact time, Dynamite fed fans like us and their hardcore fans.
No, absolutely.
So they're doing a great job. And at Forbidden Door, knowing AEW, they're going to forward storylines. Because who knows what's going to happen at any of some of these matches? Who knows?
Which is why, so that's why I said I like the fact of, I guess somebody had asked about Adam Cole and MJF. So since we're talking about AEW, I can talk about that now. I loved the ending of the match.
Fire.
I said whoever produced the match understood the assignment because you wanted to give fans the teaser without giving it all away, and you did it with this match. You did it perfectly. Round of applause, whoever produced the match. Because at the end of the day, it saved everybody. It gave you the little sampling that you needed at Costco's, and then you're like, all right, I'm gonna come back for the whole shit. So
but a lot of people didn't like it.
I loved it because more, I think for me, it was the psychology of it. It was I'm going to give y'all the taste. Because had Adam Cole lost that match, there was no way they could have ran that back.
Yeah.
There's no way y'all could have said, okay, we're going to do Adam Cole versus MJF at All In. There would have been no way. So I definitely think the ending of that match was totally the right call.
Yo, that thing was fire.
Like it just, the time, because it was the one thing you didn't account for because them niggas give obnoxious ass time limits. Like they had the Sky Blue and Tony Storm match and the nigga said, next match, time limit, 60 minutes. I said, in what world are these bitches going to wrestle for 60 minutes? Not saying that they couldn't, so let's not say that. But I'm just saying, it's already almost 9:30 and your main event is this trios match.
But reason why that I like that match is because you really had hope that he's gonna win.
Yeah.
Everything.
And shout out to the DC crowd because y'all was a part of that.
Oh, shout out to DC because we are coming down for BlurCon. I already got I'm about to order my costume today.
But the thing about it, the reason why I liked it because every scheme that MJF used to win,
it couldn't.
At the very end, like, yes, the hero's about to get it, and then draw. Some people say, hey, they've been using that draw thing a little bit too much. I'm looking like...
I don't remember the last time they did that.
The last time they used it was for Kenny Omega versus Daniel Bryan.
Oh, at here in New York.
Yeah.
And listen, that was almost 3 years ago, guys.
Someone said that, use it too recently. I'm looking like...
I don't remember that.
Listen, WWE don't do that. That's WWE.
Right.
AEW does AEW.
I mean, that's just wrestling in general. Every match in the ending and how it happens, they're all going to they're going to be different. Yes, methods can be repeated, but for certain matches, certain endings make more sense. So exactly. I definitely think that was the right way to go. I actually did like the Tony Storm and Sky Blue match. I don't, what happened?
That whole thing's so mild sauce, dude.
I like the match. I still don't think, I mean, last week on Rampage, they had the Fatal 4-Way. I don't know. Listen.
Yo, why Tony like these bitches for?
I don't.
Oh, shit.
What bitches in particular are you talking about?
Son, these same bitches put on screen, son.
They're women. Okay, can you?
I'm sorry. We get you upset
This
because
nigga gets so
cycle
upset.
them out. You need a whole new crop of them. Because these one are not hidden for me at all, B.
But bro,
I love reffing women matches.
Bare.
I love watching women's on there. You know what I do? Go to the bathroom. Go to the store run, you know, get some guava, or I need some blunt, something, call my girl, something, like go on FaceTime.
Well, it's because he hasn't found a way to have multiple stories with multiple women. And I would be very surprised. I would love to see what women match would end up on Forbidden Door.
So
I feel like the only time that
love to
I'm not
know.
gonna lie.
So I think I need to segue into something when you're done.
No.
I was gonna say this. I feel like they're doing a great job of winning the division in Ring of Honor. Athena.
That doesn't have a fucking TV deal.
Woo! Athena is putting in that work. work. Woo! That women's division in Ring of Honor, solid. Tony, do the same thing for Dynamite. Do the same thing for AEW. I don't understand.
You do understand, and you know why. Because you already know who the belt gonna end up back on.
So
you already know.
I want to have.
I'm not gonna ruin it for y'all, but if y'all know, then you know who's gonna end up with that belt sooner or later.
But so I know you're talking about the women's division. I want to segue into some Jade stuff.
Yes,
okay.
That's what I was waiting for.
So, last week we had spoken about Jade.
Are you allowed to say this?
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you who told me this.
No, that's fine. I don't care about that part.
I have a very good.
I trust sources.
I have a very good connection with the AEW thing. Like, this person loves AEW. This person's highly involved with AEW.
Okay.
Like it. I'm happy for whoever that is.
Last week we were talking about Jade and how, Tony kind of effed her
Dropped
over.
the ball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know if this is true. This is speculation. This is just the rumors that I heard.
Should we only say this for the live audience?
No, absolutely. Go for it.
No, we'll just say this.
Go for it.
It isn't 100% Tony's fault.
Okay.
There's gonna be some fault. There's gonna be some faults that fall on Jade.
Okay.
Jade has so supposedly Jade doesn't like wrestling a lot because she has a kid. She want to keep her schedule the way that she wants.
So why
to
you
keep.
wrestler for?
That's a different conversation.
That's different.
That's a different conversation. So she hasn't been the best person when it comes to being active on TV more. Mm-hmm. And Tony low-key scared of her.
Why are you scared of her?
That's a real life question. That's a trick question. Come on now.
Bro, you got a secret agent at the house in no time. You know how much power that you have?
Yeah.
But it's a form of people pleasing. And at the end of the day, when you really want somebody on your side, you will do everything in your power not to piss them off. Like, for instance, I'll give you a personal story the other day because Tuesday was not my day. So I'm at work and I get an email from a lady. She wants to do a catering order for like 200 people, 250 people. Right. So I said, instead of a catering order, you should have, because we do on-site carving. So the guys go to wherever to the office and they'll cut the sandwiches there. And she said, but then so in that, I responded to her email in saying that. And then I CC'd one of my coworkers that deals with that side of the business. So then I text him because I know, you have to know who you work with and you have to know their weaknesses and strengths. So I already know nigga don't really check email. So I text him just saying, morning, ! Call her and give her pricing and availability. He then proceeds to call me and felt that I was bossing him to do it. Ooh, so when I told him, that's not my character. I emailed you even before I text you. And that was not even the route I was going. And I've never even given you any inkling that that's the route I would ever go with you. So then in the same breath, he goes, now I feel stupid for even mentioning something. But I say that in saying people will deflect. They will not always take 100% accountability on certain things because they don't want to hurt the individual's feelings. So like in my instance, I can say hella shit about how he do shit completely wrong. But because that's not my character and that's not who I am and I'm a team player, I eat it. I'm like, you know what? I understand this is not his strength. But with Tony, he's afraid to give the truth because he doesn't know how she's going to react. And I don't know if it's because she's a strong black woman. I don't know if it's because of her presence. I don't know what it is. And that's really him. That's on him.
Yeah.
If people are, and that's just in life in general, if people are afraid to tell you their honest and truth, then those aren't people that you need to be around, because they're not ever going to be honest with you. If Tony as the boss can have an honest conversation with her and saying like, listen, I need X, Y, and Z in order for X, Y, and Z to happen. Well, it's a job at the end of the day.
It's also what, from what this source said, that's why she hasn't improved in the ring as well. Like Bryan Danielson and Billy Gunn will have classes with the women to do stuff, and she wouldn't be fully involved in it. Now, what this person said and what Jade has said doesn't, they contradict each other, because she has been training with him. Mm-hmm. But I don't think maybe she hasn't been training consistently with him. Okay. To improve. Also, it comes off as she doesn't want to be a wrestler. She just want to be a star.
So I don't know if that part, because of the fact that, they had that All Access TV show.
Yeah.
And she told them she didn't want to do it. She said there were certain parts of her life she wanted to keep to herself.
But that's just, it's.
And if that was the case, then that whole like she wants to be a star thing, I don't know if I can fully get with that.
You can be a star and not have your private life out.
But my thing is
can
this.
You really?
Yeah. But
in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't know.
There's a mystique to it.
Wait, so I got a question. So do you think that...
Hey, Ziggy, good morning.
Okay, Tony taking the title off of her, do you think that he's just let her contract run out?
No, Tony took the title off of her because Chris Statlander came back.
Right. But do you think that he's going to let her contract run out because you have to deal with her?
I don't know. Listen.
I wouldn't do that, just because, in all honesty, there's potential.
There's potential in there, but they have to work different. If let's say this is all true,
okay,
they have to work.
Like all this is allegedly.
Alleged. They have to work better together, because there has to be a give and take in a situation.
Right. It's a dance, just like in the ring.
But the thing is, she has to wrestle more.
She has to be just as committed. She has to be as they are committed in giving her creative.
And the thing about it, she wasn't pulling in numbers the way that she should have been. The only real people that like black wrestlers who are pulling numbers in is Bianca, Athena. One of the reasons why the subscribers are up on ROH is because of Athena.
See?
Like, people don't talk about how well Athena, and I know we talk smack about her.
Who's we?
Y'all not gonna trigger me today.
Yeah, so. But the thing
who's we? It's her.
At the end of the day,
I don't give a fuck.
We're not a team in this.
First of all, what I said.
All right, hold on.
What I said was the truth, and y'all niggas will never let me sit here and not say that girl here and how she was representing herself on that WWE brand. That was not a character. Don't do that.
But the thing is, at the end of the day, she's not pulling the numbers.
Yeah, but she's not giving us reason to pull us in. Okay.
But that's part of the reason is because they haven't created things for you to be invested in.
But they haven't booked her. They haven't booked her the best.
They haven't booked her the best. Like, what's the only thing that people look for? Like, look, once she an entrance,
niggas only look forward to her entrance for every big pay-per-view.
Yeah, and after once she an entrance,
but that's it. But the thing is, you got to be on TV more, especially when you're green.
Okay, how about this? Let's look at it. We don't know nothing behind closed doors. Let's look at it as if we just watching the product. Why you think people are not more vested in Jade?
I think it comes... Well, you have to understand, off the rip, she's a black woman.
Mm-hmm.
Predominantly of who watches AEW are not people who like...
middle-aged white men
who wouldn't be actually catered to that.
Actually just likes men's wrestling.
So I'll just give it one side of that. The other side, her in-ring ain't that great.
Mm-hmm.
She hasn't put on any other matches, and supposedly, and this is Tony's fault. He's not taking control because she's doing a lot of the booking. I heard supposedly.
But you can tell he don't take...
We only go off what we don't know.
No. Okay, back to... Hold on.
But even in that, wait, Tony don't control shit.
Hold on. But back to that. So if we're looking at just at...
Booking's been terrible.
Booking's been terrible.
Okay.
Matches haven't been great. Everything, people haven't been great. And that's off of the eye. The eye. Mm-hmm. We're doing the eye test right now.
Yes.
The eye test right now. So... That's why she hasn't been hitting as the way that she's supposed to. And I hate comparing. I don't like comparing, but let's just compare Bianca Belair. Consistently wrestling. Two different stories, two different situations, but we got to compare to something. We look at Bianca. Bianca wasn't that great, but she kept getting better because I always talk about the home cooking.
Yeah.
And it kept being a consistent thing.
Because you wrestled every week.
Twice a week, every week.
Times a week.
She was getting the reps in.
She was, yeah.
And you understand how wrestling is. It's reps. Consistent reps in. And I think that's the biggest thing that Jade didn't have. Mm-hmm. Is getting the reps in.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people confuse the undefeated streak with that. And it's like, yeah, you can be undefeated, and that's great. And it's a great accomplishment for you, per se. But for us as a fan, we want more for you. And you have to want more for you. Because, like, I will still stand. They did her dirty at that Double or Nothing. I don't care what anybody says. And it has nothing to do with I hate AEW. It's none of that shit. As a black woman, they did her wrong. Because if you spent all this time building her up as this undefeated monster of a woman, she's handling her, she's the face of the TBS title. If you did all of that shit to her, why would you not celebrate her in the manner she deserved to be celebrated in? How in the same breath you want to celebrate her and then have her be defeated the same in less than in the same breath? That will never make sense for me. I would never. And if WWE did that shit too, the shit, even though low-key they did with when Sheamus cashed in on Roman, but that's different. but at the end of it, but there's no undefeated streak. There was that was a whole thing. But with Jade, their fan base does not care for women wrestling already. Under that, she's a woman of color. They already don't fuck with that. So at the end of the day, they're only going to go based off of the wrestling because that's the type of fans that they have, is those that are wrestlers. They want to see wrestling. And because she's not delivering in that category for them, it was never going to hit.
But whose fault is that on that part?
It's both.
So that's where it falls.
I don't agree, once again, how Tony did her for Double or Nothing. However, in the bigger picture of things, they both got to take ownership in how things went down.
Okay. Wow. This is a lot, and I definitely agree with y'all. But who else they haven't treated black women in AEW good, period?
No, Athena's getting treated well.
That's ROH though.
It's still AEW.
Okay, fine. Underneath that umbrella.
Because they don't treat it as the same, so I can't really say it's the same.
Underneath that umbrella, Athena getting treated well, right? Willow, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Who else?
I told her. I said.
But there's not that many black women there.
At all. Yeah, that too.
But that
part, and I felt like,
and the reason why, I don't mean to cut you off, but the reason why, what's her name? Kiera Hogan went to ROH was because of Jade, supposedly.
What do you mean?
Well,
supposedly.
Supposedly,
she was doing a lot of backstage politics, which wasn't right.
Allegedly.
Supposedly, people was like, I'm done with this.
She was looking out for self?
Yeah.
And then she realized, like, oh shit, she's looking out for self. I gotta look out for self.
So then she
Which is once again why I can't fully, even though, yeah, it has the same owner, there's still two separate things for me. Like ROH, how ROH is ran and how those matches are done and how that runs, to me is almost night and day from Dynamite.
It is.
I just hope this is not true.
Yeah.
But if it is true, it's kind of it's somebody.
It's a catch-22.
Everybody needs to take accountability.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And you know who needs to take accountability? And I want to segue into this real quick because I saw the CM Punk promo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Where he said,
I have a lot.
The
only way the only way this.
I'm sorry. Look at this. Look what someone said.
What?
I'm
dead.
Gray, red velvet. So yeah. But the only way CM Punk works out as a babyface, he has to go on Collision, get on the mic, and apologize.
But that's where they fucked up, having the match be the first match.
That's fine.
Because it should have been where Punk He didn't even have to open the show because you want to keep people on for 2 hours. At 9:45, Saturday, June 17th, Cult of Personality should have hit, and CM Punk should have got in the middle of that ring in United Center and said and apologized and said, I fucked up.
Because it's not gonna work. Because the reason why CM Punk has to apologize when he pops up on Collision.
Okay.
And the reason why, because they're trying to push him as a babyface. That's
Which I don't
one.
agree with.
Number 2.
I don't agree with that.
Y'all spent the past 6 months
paying him.
No, but not even paying him is the mere fact that you spent the last 6 months talking crap about him, letting the rumors grow of how he was a bad person behind the stage. Every time Tony was asked about the situation, I can't talk about it.
Well, Ariel Helwani and
but the thing about it, he should. But the thing about it, it should have been a place where he should have been like, you know what, we had some issues. We're gonna work some things out.
You know the crazy thing about it? CM Punk shits on WWE all the time, but when Vince was asked about Punk, about the whole situation, he apologized. He said, "Yo, if it did happen,
he did talk about it on Pat. Yo, Pat asked about that.
Yeah, I am sorry, but Tony handling it is on some like." Softball.
I've told you this numerous times.
Well, because he's a people pleaser. No, that's why.
No, that's not what it is.
In terms of character as men.
This is CM Punk's fault. Because the thing about it, you shitted on WWE. You legitimately took a dump on WWE. You literally took a dump on him. And I understand it. Listen, the Z-Pack situation, getting sick situation, all it is, the way that they fired you, yeah, you have good with, but you spent months and months shitting on them. But at the end of the day, you had one of the longest title reigns ever in WWE history. And it's all because you didn't main event WrestleMania?
I mean, I would have been upset.
For what? For what?
I'd have been
upset.
Time, you listen. We already talked about how Dwayne was in the wrong for that, and how they did Punk wrong.
CM Punk wasn't making money.
They did Punk wrong.
CM Punk wasn't bringing money.
I don't believe that.
They did. Because the thing about it, The Rock and John Cena is my premier players.
Yes, premier.
I am not putting CM Punk in. But hold on. That WrestleMania, that first one, broke records.
Yeah, it did. So why not do it again for more money?
Exactly. And I'm gonna put CM Punk in?
But the thing about CM Punk, and here's something that people said about him when he was in WWE, and there's a difference when CM Punk was on top compared to Roman, John Cena. You know the biggest difference? This nigga didn't talk to nobody like that.
Who?
CM Punk. He was mad antisocial. He only hang out with certain type of people. So my thing is this.
No, it wasn't.
Hold on. And you as your face of your company, but yet you rub a lot of people the wrong way, how am I going to send you out there? You might do something stupid to make us look bad. So why?
And he did that. That's what I'm saying. He did that with Tony Khan.
Right.
Because the thing about it, it's exactly what you just said. You said the exact thing. You nailed it. I can't fuck with you.
I can't trust you.
I can't trust you. We can give you the keys, and you're gonna crash this car, and that's exactly what he did.
And you know what? Like, we all from the hood. We remember what are one of the rules that you always learn as a man? If you can't control your mans, don't bring them out. Because you need to be around people that you could somewhat control.
Exactly.
I don't be on some like, yo, you stand right here, blah, blah, blah. Be on some
but just read the room. Read the temperature check.
I'll give you an example. Let's say like someone said something a little bit crazy, right? Depending where we are, you be like, yo, eat this one. Because you understand that.
Oh, listen.
Calm down.
I wonder if Michael Bostic's still on the live. This morning, this nigga texted me. He's like, yo, I almost got off the bus. Because he saw somebody, he was like, yo, like, it's on site. And I was just like, the fact that you didn't get off that bus, I am so proud of you. That's growth. Because you know you better than that. But it's just, that's how niggas give it up sometimes. You gotta know.
CM Punk is too selfish. CM Punk is too impulse.
Listen.
Vince saw it. Niggas talk shit about Vince all the time. But he sees certain things in people. He reads people. He understands people. Is he a little bit crazy sometimes? Yeah, But yo, understand it. I got this far from the system that I developed.
But the thing about it, y'all act like Vince shitted on CM Punk.
Oh no. Matter of fact, I'm gonna look at it from a wrestling standpoint. Oh my gosh. Oh, John Cena main evented all the pay-per-views I was on. Like you said, you ain't drawing like that.
But you ain't drawing like that. Hold on. If I'm correct, was Rock versus Cena was before the
pipe bomb?
The network?
Yeah.
Or was during the network?
It was before the
I
network.
don't remember. It was before the network.
Yeah.
That was
that
was Mania 28.
So hold on. Let's rewind this.
Before the network, yeah.
I put The Rock and John Cena in my main event. And then at the time, they're doing pay-per-view shares. My nigga, you just got paid out. You just got paid out.
And
your merch is there at WrestleMania being sold there. You just got paid even better. These guys just brought you the house. The Rock was up there at the time in Hollywood, was getting up there on top of Hollywood. Yes. Cena's the top of his game.
Yes. Make a wish all of that.
And we brought bread.
Yeah.
Yes, you didn't main event. We get that.
But you had a match with Undertaker.
Which is honestly speaking,
that stole the
one of the, if not the only best match on that card outside of Brock and Triple H, which I totally forget because I was there and then I had to rewatch it.
People are talking.
But to your point though, I at the end of the day, I've always said this. They could have, yes, they did Rock and Cena too. I will just always say they didn't need it to be for a title. Didn't need to be. They didn't need for Punk to fucking drop at Rumble for that. In order to do that, in order to sell the house, they didn't need to do that.
Undertaker
as a consolation prize, and I was your champion. Now it's not a bad consolation prize, but you got to see it from his point of view. If I've been champion over 400 days, and we're on the road to WrestleMania, and y'all already know how I feel.
Fuck you. Fuck you, nigga.
And that's why. But your experiences. They all lead up to who you are today.
So you
gotta think about it.
I agree with you, but I'm gonna say this. You work with Undertaker, I know you got paid a bag as if it was main event.
Thank you.
But it's not. But
whoa, hold up.
It don't always gotta be about the bag, though.
But hold up.
The bag is great, but it don't always gotta be about the bag.
But hold up.
It's the principle.
But understand, I give you example. Randy Orton.
Stop touching me.
Right? Yo, he took that hit from Brock. You know what? I'm going to give you a storyline with Bray Wyatt. Won the Royal Rumble. Won Survivor Series. And got the title at WrestleMania. Thank you, Randy, for working with me. Vince rewards people who works with him.
Because the thing about it, at the end of the day, wrestling's a team sport, regardless of how you see it. So you think, and the thing about it, I can't give you. He be like, oh, I'm mad at WWE, nigga. You came back and did a show with WWE.
Oh yeah, no,
he's a hoe. No, he's a hoe for that shit. Because the thing. No, hold on, wait. Because you literally went on Colt Cabana's show. You talked smack about WWE. You talked the whole shit about it. You know what, dogs? You got it. You didn't get your WrestleMania moment. Fine, dogs. You got it. Then you come back and do a WWE show? Nigga, I'm not touching your morals. Nigga, you are full of shit. That's my whole point with this nigga.
And then he says that, oh, I finally found company that's like, oh, I can finally do pro wrestling.
Because
all
I
of
can
that.
do what I want to do.
I work with you. I did everything. You sat right beside me, son.
And embarrassed me.
You embarrassed me.
And so I had sent y'all the...
And once again, that's the reason why Vince said, fuck you, my nigga. Because I can't work with you. You's a hoe. So I'm going to put my most... The thing about it, who is John Cena? I'm a 20-plus year worker.
Horse.
I'm a horse. The Rock, I can trust you.
Because we made bread together. We made movies together. SmackDown. Because of you, I got SmackDown. Your family. You know what Vince did? I'm going to put all your family in this. Because you looked out for me, Rocky.
Well, they've been like that. He got put on because
the thing about it, the one thing me and Vince are like, I'm not a billionaire.
Yeah.
I believe in loyalty.
Oh,
you took care of me. You took care of me. I'm going to take care of you. And the thing about it, I know how you act in the locker room. I know how everybody feels about working with you. You's a hoe. So you know what? Fuck you. I'm going to use my 2 biggest stars who's going to put money in my pocket, who I can trust on the car, who is going to blow this up. And the thing about it,
the match was mid.
But I'm going to give you another example.
And they still sold.
I'm going to say this. Hey, you know what?
I was there.
I get somebody like The Miz, right? Vince could trust them. You know what Vince does? I give you a whole reality show. I'll give you a whole segment each and every week. You're injured? I could trust you. Hey,
I love
you know
that
what?
about
You
Miz.
know what? You know what? You know what, Miz? You know what? You can work with this dude because I know that you're very trusted in the ring. And the Miz gets the bag.
To be honest, if the route, and we'll move on, and we'll talk about some WB stuff now. To be honest, I don't think he should come back as a face. I don't. And I think
He gotta say sorry.
If they were smart, low key, he would turn on FTR.
So it's a segment.
He would turn on. You can have my water here.
So it's a segment.
He would turn on FTR because you should play into everybody's feelings and emotions. Everybody ain't fucking with him. Play into that shit. As the promoter, as the booker, play into that because you're gonna get that back in money. You're gonna get that back in viewership because now look at Dom. Look at Dominic Mysterio, for instance. Every fucking week that nigga get a microphone, you can't hear anything.
Thank you.
You can't hear. He can't even breathe before them niggas boo. They already boo. They're leaning into how the fans already look at him. So if you have Punk coming back and you're having him come back with one of the greatest tag teams of all time, and we gonna act like nothing happened, it is a spit in Tony Khan's face and it's a spit in our face as fans.
Thank you.
Don't do that shit.
Thank you.
Don't do it.
I'm gonna say this to add on too, right? Rey Mysterio had all reason to curse out WWE for what they did to him. Cursed him out. Had all reason. Wouldn't release him. None of that. WWE finally released him. You never heard not one thing he said bad about them. It didn't work out. This, that, and third. He kept it in good grace. You know how WWE repay back him? We got your son, tag team champion. I'm gonna give you a match at WrestleMania. I even give you LWO because you worked with me. Because the pandemic, Ray and them showed up each and every week. Your son's getting better, so I'm gonna put him with people that I could trust. Cody, Seth.
Yo, and you know what? Let's talk about Raw real quick and how this Money in the Bank is shaping up, because I did not think that Dominic Mysterio versus Cody Luther X was the match I needed to see.
Come on.
Had no idea.
But once again,
until it went down.
Once again, I need y'all to put some respect on my man Cody Rhodes' name, son. This man has showed out, has put on a story consistently, and you know what? We gotta put some respect on Dom's name.
Absolutely.
Dom,
yo, because it takes a lot.
He's getting better in the ring.
Yo, so
each and every week.
It takes a lot for it. It speaks volumes to Dominic's character and his dedication to what he's doing, because they're in the O2 Arena in London, and you're wrestling the main event, one of the main eventers of WrestleMania.
Thank you.
But the thing,
let's talk about it.
But it comes down to what we spoke about earlier. I can trust you. This business is about trust. It's about trust in the ring, trust outside of the ring, who I can depend on. Anybody's job, you have to be able. You work as a team. You have to be able to be depended on, and that's what's been going on with Dom. They can depend on Dom.
He's that sixth man that you could put into the game, and y'all be like, all right, change. Here, we got only like 2 minutes left in the quarter. Going.
Your father
is Rey
Mysterio, and your godfather is Conan. Like you, the thing about it, all you have to do is listen.
And your real daddy was Eddie.
All you gotta do is show up, bro.
All you gotta do is just listen, and you'll be fine.
Thank you.
So, anybody that's listening to this podcast needs to listen to Rick Rubin's podcast. If you don't know who Rick Rubin is, Rick Rubin's a legendary producer. Worked with Jay-Z, Kanye West.
He's a big wrestling fan.
Yeah, he did a podcast with Paul Heyman.
Ooh,
probably one of the best podcast episodes I've ever heard in my life.
Okay, I'm listening to it.
So they speak about Roman, and I know, and this is why I wanted to bring it up, because we talk about respect in the business and everything of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
We don't give Roman enough respect for what he's done, and this is real. So supposedly, Remember the dog food thing?
Yeah.
Oh, that everybody we hated that.
Yeah.
Because it didn't make no fucking sense.
Roman hated it.
Because it didn't make no fucking sense.
So Roman was just like, this is fucking bullshit, basically. And
Baron Corbin ain't been the same.
And he was just
Low
like,
key.
he's just like, I'm done with this. And this is why I love Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Mm-hmm.
Vincent calls Heyman up and was like, yo, what up? Let's talk, blah, blah, blah. And that's the thing Paul was doing some behind the scenes stuff, whatever. He's like, I'm not never going back on an on-screen character, whatever. And he's talking to Heyman about the situation. Once again, I recommend everybody listen to this podcast. It was wrestling history, wrestling psychology. Like, they were breaking down why they use certain words. Like, acknowledge me. Why they use everything, how this came about. What are they studying to better move the story on?
They gotta be watching like Goodfellas. They gotta be watching something.
No,
like
that's what they were. But didn't I say this?
Yeah, you did say
that. They gotta be watching some old
Didn't I say it was like the Mafia?
Yeah.
Because that's what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
They were watching.
Like some John Gotti, all them mob niggas in Chicago.
Yeah, Vince called up Heyman, was like, yo, we're gonna have you work with Roman. You're gonna be working with Roman. Cause Roman was it was just like, and then you start understanding why they do certain things and how they moved around the storyline and stuff of that nature. And they use movies, outside of like gangster movies, they use movies, little things from movies to better tell the story. Like, they were giving an example of like, remember when the Usos came to the locker room and then Paul Heyman was like, Roman's not here, but he wants this and this. The reason why they did that was because they didn't want Roman to be on the show. So you thinking like, when is Roman going to come back and have the conversation later about the situation?
They gave Roman the mystique that he was always missing as the big dog. And when you think about it, it's always
Sorry.
That's okay. They've made it in a way where every week is anticlimactic.
Yes.
Every week is like on that cliffhanger. Like even this week on SmackDown when Jay had the fucking US title, which was dope.
Fire
dope.
match.
Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, we all knew he wasn't
match.
going to win. But it was just the fact that... No, you didn't.
Yeah,
it was just the fact... Okay, I'm going to let you have that one. It was just the fact that it built into the story. It started off with him. He still gave no answer. They go backstage. Paul comes to him. He's like, oh, I see what you did. It was smart. Get the ratings up. I feel you. And he's telling him like, yo, my issue actually is you. So I still don't have an answer for you. Then have the match. Then now you're causing friction between him and Jimmy because you know Jimmy gonna come in and save his brother. And then now Solo, and I still stand by that. Solo's the wild card. Mm-hmm. Solo's always for me gonna be the wild card because you never know which way it actually is gonna go. So the fact that Jay held Solo's hand, so now it's so many layers to it that you can appreciate how it's being done and how it's being produced. I want to ask you guys this question on everyone that's watching on the live feed. So we talk about Monday Night Raw and Seth freaking Rollins and Finn Balor segment that got, listen, shout outs to Kansas City because y'all niggas sang that nigga the entire segment. Like it was impressive. Some people will be annoyed. Some people were annoyed by it. Some people were impressed by it. I was impressed by it because Finn was still able to still talk. Like he kept going, and I can appreciate that because it's a part of the story. Yeah, I love the fact that he pulled it all the way back to the SummerSlam for the Universal title match. I love that and low key throughout their whole career, even through NXT and even on the main roster, they've always somehow crossed paths. And I think it's dope how
Seth never crossed paths to NXT.
Really?
They never.
Oh, I feel like they did.
No, Seth was like...
Seth was the original.
Yeah, he was the original.
Of the Black
Finn came way after.
Oh, you know what? You're right. I'm sorry. But Seth coming back on NXT next week. Listen, I want to let everybody know, do not be a bandwagon at NXT. If y'all wasn't fucking with NXT during 2.0, if y'all niggas wasn't fucking with it during Black and Gold...
Why are you gatekeeping?
Don't do that.
Why are you gatekeeping?
Don't do that.
But why are you gatekeeping?
Don't do that.
But why are you gatekeeping?
Because you got everybody out here in the streets. Nah, you got everybody out here now excited about NXT. This is the most people don't talk about NXT.
But you know why? The best person on the Shield is only going to be on NXT. I've said this for years. He's
However,
the best person on from the Shield.
He's overall, yes.
Yes.
Like if we're gonna say the complete package, yes, Seth Rollins was always always gonna be the star, the one to make the moves.
Listen,
yes,
Seth is Dwayne Wade.
Okay.
Y'all always love using basketball terms. No, I don't watch
LeBron is Roman Reigns.
Okay.
And Chris Bosh, like I've always said, who is it? John Moxley.
Anyway,
but you act like Chris Bosh was whacking around.
I'm not saying he was whack. I'm not saying John Moxley's whack.
He's just saying he was the wackest out of the three.
Yes,
that's what he's trying to say.
Yes.
Okay.
But as I mentioned last week on NXT, Braun Breaker in a segment called out Seth Rollins, and we were watching Raw.
But hold on, you forgot
about the segment.
But the segment, so I didn't have a problem with the crowd doing that.
I didn't either.
No,
because American crowds are wild.
I was just shocked it was Kansas City.
No, but the thing about it, that's just an American crowd.
Yeah.
That's how American crowds move. We want to be part of the show. Is it always good? No. But we're more enthusiastic about our professional wrestlers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, if this was Japan that it was happening in, I'd be like, yo, this is horrible. This shouldn't be getting done.
That's not their culture.
That's not their culture. Don't try to ruin it. Don't try to change it up and be loud. It cut into like other people's segments.
Yeah, because apparently it had took off 2 minutes of my nigga Chad Gable's match, which I never appreciate when my nigga get time off.
But the thing about it, listen. Seth is super over. Stuff like that, you want to see it. You want to see the crowd fully behind this dude and what this guy's been doing. Like, I personally love seeing that. Mm-hmm. Because at the same time, Finn is the heel. He is supposed to get a hard time from the crowd. And we kind of misconstrue that, like, yo, like sometimes we get too purist about this sport.
It's disrespectful. And it's just like, it's always a time and a place for it. And I think for that segment, especially, that was the right time and the right place for that.
They aren't talking about their puppies dying or somebody real drastic. I understand where some people were coming from. Like, oh, man, this is like, you let him get his stuff off. No, he's a heel.
Let him not. The same thing I do with Dom.
And the thing is, like, you want that. You want this to build up. Like, you want him to feel like a mega superstar.
I hope Finn was in that ring inside smiling because you were able to bring that type of heat to the segment.
But in real life, you don't want the bad guy to speak, period. You don't care what you have to say, right? Because he's a bad guy.
But I didn't think it was a big deal per se.
And I think after a certain point, Seth realized that he had to interject, and they were able to kind of like have that balance in and out of that.
But that's what professionals do.
And guess what? That means that they was into the promo.
They was into everything.
Now there's a difference if they have a beach ball in the crowd.
That's completely different.
It's different.
Completely different.
But I want to talk about NXT for a second.
Oh, really?
So
did you watch?
I was watching it on Tuesday.
Did you watched on Tuesday?
And I'm gonna say this. This is a Shawn Michaels show.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why this is a Shawn Michaels show. Everybody looks great. Everybody looks great. They had this. They had this Washington Heights tag team that's about.
Let me tell you. So me and Mikey were watching, right? And that promo, first of all, I thought it was a regular commercial first.
So did I. So I thought it was like a commercial for Fonzie. It was mad racist of me. My apologies.
I just thought it was. I thought it was a commercial. So that's the first thing. Then when I realized it wasn't, I said, "Well, who the fuck are these niggas? And what are they doing? What are we getting here?" And I like the fact. And I like the fact that they're starting to get rid. They've always been, I feel like, very tag team heavy in NXT, and I love the fact. And it's because it gives more guys more opportunity to be on TV. So I love the fact that that Angel Garza and Humberto popped in. I love that. Yeah. I love that they were going each week. The tag teams were facing each other.
So I need a match versus some Dominicans and some Puerto Ricans.
I'm weak right now.
Because I know Puerto Ricans.
Said we have to fight for the islands.
I need a Puerto Rican versus Dominican match.
I hate you. I'm going to get you Savio Vega.
Are those dudes Dominican?
I actually don't know.
So are they going to be for the LWO?
No.
I don't know what they're doing.
But see, that's the thing. You don't know.
So first of all, they had do-rags on.
First of all, it was very
do-rags?
It was very a mixture of Crime Time-ish and niggas from Miami, like Trick
hookah?
Daddy and Gunplay and them
First
niggas.
First of all.
Yeah, they probably
It was definitely the Dominican version of Crime Time.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They had do-rags on them, and they had braids.
But it was a cute segment because it started off with like 2 kids, so that's why I didn't know it was a commercial or not. So then it was the 2 kids starting out, and they're talking about them growing up together and not knowing like where they were gonna end up, and then it flashback to them in real time, them as adults. And then one nigga had a do-rag, the other nigga had braids. I was just like, but they some stocky ass niggas.
Yeah,
and I
they
was
were
just like,
brolic,
what is going on?
But they look like some Dominicans from the Heights.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if they're really Dominican.
I don't either.
Because they might be Mexican, it might be something else.
It's exciting.
But it was very Dominicanish.
It's exciting.
So, but
Dang.
as I was watching it, I'm watching the whole show, and I was like, yo. And this is just off of the eye test I'm talking about. Not storylines. I wasn't getting invested into no storylines. I was just watching because I got finally.
This nigga said Corona time. That's funny.
That's funny. So, and I'm as I'm watching, I'm just like, yo, I'm looking at the roster in general. You're looking at Trick, looking at Carmelo, looking at the women's division. You're looking at Braun. You're looking at everybody. Polished, clean, like every single person that was on my television.
They look great.
Look great physically. Their costumes look great. Nothing seemed like there was a speck of dust on them.
But when I tell y'all, like, cause we went. When I tell you the production value and level,
Hey, Stephanie Hardy.
the production level of NXT is top notch.
But the thing about it, is that's what I talk about, because it's like these guys look like stars.
They do, yeah.
Like, for instance, Carmelo Hayes was on. Was it Raw or SmackDown?
It was SmackDown.
He was on
which
SmackDown.
I like. So him and Trick were on SmackDown sitting in the crowd when Baron Corbin was going for his qualifying match. And then when Butch won, they ended up fighting. And then once again, it led into Tuesday when he had the number 1 contender against Ilya Dragunov. And then when he won, then Melo came out. But see, everything happens for a reason. It was always a cause and effect. And that's what I always like about NXT is that there's always a cause and effect. Like when they were trying to figure out who was the girl that was beating up all the bitches in the back, and it led up to being Blair Davenport coming back that used to be on NXT UK, and now her and Roxy Perez going at it. It adds that value of like, oh
flows.
shit.
But the thing about
Right.
it, that's what I was saying. Like, Carmelo didn't look out of place. Trick didn't look out of place on the television screen. Like, oh, who is that? Carmelo is shorter. That's the only thing that he has, but it's fine. Because he's on that Shawn Michaels level where you still look like a star.
And you know what? They've also, and I know not a lot of people talk about him. He's really, shout outs to Shawn Michaels on that. He's really taken Wesley. Because it's certain tag teams that, and it's unfortunate what happened to him and his tag team partner. And most tag teams, you never know if the person, when they're by themselves, are going to be able to be a hit or a miss. And they've strategically positioned that nigga to be a hit. And it's super dope that he's been able to carry the North American title in the manner that he's been able to do it. He's been able to defend it every time they have a big pay-per-view. The fact that he's now in this like kind of like him, Tyler Bate, and Mustafa Ali kind of situation, they've just positioned him to succeed. And for a nigga that came out of a tag team, that wasn't his doing. And to be able to do that is I commend Wesley in that fashion, because that's not easy. And he's been able to carry that North American title, probably, if not one of the best North American champions outside of Melo, probably, and a few other niggas. But like, he's been really doing his thing on NXT, and I just had to give him that, because the people don't talk about him and they don't talk about what he's been doing.
But
so
I don't understand is why AEW doesn't have this polish with their stars. Because majority of these people look like they rolled out of bed.
But that's why. But look in the crowd.
But I don't care about the crowd.
But I'm just saying
but that's most wrestling crowds.
Yeah, that is true.
But we've all, you said it, and we've all acknowledged that AEW at most times can feel like an indies on steroid.
Yeah, we said that. Yeah.
So when you have that scope of it, it's hard to want to present a polished product for
AEW,
somebody that's used to that.
I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Okay.
AEW looks like Hog. AEW looks like House of Glory. And I don't, anybody can argue, and I will say this again. AEW looks like House of Glory, just with a little bit more people.
Wait, hold on. Yeah?
I mean, outside of not being on the road.
That's literally what it is. But the thing about it, I'm watching NXT. Everybody looks like a star.
Yeah.
Every single person on that roster, when I watch it from 8:30 to 10 o'clock, as I'm watching it, and I'm doing some other stuff, and I'm watching, every single person on that looks like a star. Nobody seems like I'm telling you, it was just this polished feeling that you had. Like, yes, it was a smaller division, but it was like, all right.
They passed the
But you know what?
test.
I'm not even going to hold you in terms of smaller division because, like, NXT low-key got mad niggas. I'm not even going to hold y'all. There's niggas on there, like, but they found an interesting way to low-key rotate people, and it's been working for them. Like, for instance, everyone knows from the beginning, I love Chase U. I love Andrew Chase, and I love Chase University. So for Thea right now to be the number one contender for the NXT women's title, it means something. It's something dope. And if she wins, she'd be the youngest NXT champion. So, like, things like that, in how they've been able to build characters and build the stories and things like that. Like, their roster is like, out of this world. Like, I can't say nothing, to be honest, bad. And like I told y'all before.
So shout out to the homeboy. I can't pronounce your name. Cora J. Gigi.
Oh, wait, is that our Indian friend?
Yeah, it's our
friend
Indian
from
brother.
India? Hey.
Blair Davenport, Elektra Lopez, Fallon Henley, Kiana James, all performed in AEW first. You are absolutely right.
I love me some Kiana.
You are absolutely right, my Indian brother.
I love all
from
them
the other
bitches
side of the
you
world.
listed.
And you mentioned a great amount.
And AEW let them all go.
They did perform there because they had a level of excellence. Now, when it comes to their presentation now on NXT,
it's different.
It's a different presentation.
It's different.
They're coming off looking like superstars.
Even and shout outs to him mentioning Elektra Lopez. What I actually liked was the segment between her and the other Spanish girl that just started coming up on NXT, and like them being together, like stuff like or they do things in such an organic way.
I give you examples.
Smart Psychology Podcast said House of Glory had Little Scrappy and Stevie J, and AEW had Rick Ross.
That is true. But you know also a difference too in how the rest of the look. Adam Cole was in AEW.
Who?
Adam Cole was in NXT. Looked amazing.
I don't know if it's the lighting.
No,
I don't know what it is.
That nigga is a wet 105.
Now you look at him at AEW, looking like it's like a before and after
like
picture.
a shell of himself. But
like,
people have been saying that for some time.
But I think he's just stressed out.
I'm not gonna hold you though. When I watched the Ilya Dragunov and Baron Corbin, I definitely asked Mike. I said, "Why the fuck does Baron Corbin got on them basketball shorts and he know his tum out here like flapping over?" Sir, don't do that.
I agree with you, Randy.
Don't do that.
I agree with you.
No, but Randy's right. It is Tony overseeing everything. He has to let people go. Listen.
But he's talking about the quality part. But you know the difference between Tony and Vince? Vince understands visuals. Tony don't.
Oh, well, we know that because he'll get in front of a camera and not blink and give a whole statement. Scary.
You know the difference? Like,
it's 10 o'clock in India. Oh, hey.
Yo, shout out to our brother from India.
Yo, if you got a connect for that Indian pay-per-view they plan it in September, let us know.
And
okay?
you know also you know also the difference too? Vince didn't come from money like that. He had a struggle all his life. So when he got the little suits,
my
he
man
cherished
got the bag.
it. He always look good.
He know what $1 means.
So now the
nigga with money don't know how to spend the money
because he don't know. Like, think about it.
That ass. If you had, my father owns the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I don't have to look good.
And Jacksonville just got approved for a whole new stadium.
Exactly. I don't have to look good.
You refuse to change your set.
Come on.
I hope and pray that Collision shit has a different set. I pray for that. Because you want to be able to give two different feels. You want to be able to get the fans to visually be invested. Listen, Tony, whoever works in the truck too, you may need some new niggas. Because them niggas don't know how to cut the different cameras. Especially even the cameramen. Y'all niggas be in the way. Like, it's the details of the whole production.
This is why Vince is the greatest sports entertainer. because
you'll spend the money on Britt Baker's pyro, but won't fucking do anything else.
Really? Like there is technology out there.
Yo, why you keep
No, it's true though.
But why? Hold on, Mr. Black. Why did Britt have to get
the priorities?
shot?
The priorities.
There was no reason to hit that straight bullet.
The priorities.
Someone said this.
It wasn't straight bullet.
We can't agree that AEW don't have the actual lineage. Vince had way more time and way more to work with when he started.
But Vince low-key started over.
No. I understand what you're trying to say, but you have templates to look. You've been watching wrestling forever, right, Tony? You know what works and what don't works. You understand presentation. You have a soccer team. You have a football team. At some point, it's all about aesthetics. That's no excuse.
Yo, if that stage for All In is not like
but
popping,
and with the whole with the whole production, the NFL was not the NFL how it is right now. You work for that. You work for the NFL. You have a team in the NFL. For you to be trash in production, it's no excuse.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Vince was so good with XFL.
So agree.
The NFL took some of this shit.
But it's like
I
think I'll go with what Randy says. When you can, it's a little bit of he's controlling everything. He doesn't have people under him to like give him ideas, or he doesn't listen to those.
No,
ideas.
he don't listen. You got fucking Jerry Lynn. You got even Jeff. You got Jeff Jarrett.
But the thing about
what are we talking about? You got Dean Malenko.
For me,
what are we talking about?
For me, so just recently, I think we'll end on this. Just recently, Hulk Hogan went on a podcast. Fuck Hogan.
Okay.
But he talked about how wrestlers nowadays don't look like superstars. They look like they can bag my groceries. Some of them he's talking about. Now, what I'm trying to say is that what I saw in NXT was everybody looked like stars. Mm-hmm. The bigger people to the smaller people look like fucking stars. Mm-hmm. The chicks look beautiful. They had this sex appeal. Even if that wasn't their thing, they still look good. Mm-hmm. When I watch AEW, you don't look like a superstar to me. Only a few look like a superstars, and I can name like 6 of them. That's Kenny.
Okay.
The Bucks.
Okay. The Blackpool.
No.
Who knows?
Brian Danielson.
That's his gimmick.
Brian Danielson don't wear nothing but some trunks.
But he looks like a star.
He does like a star. They all
they all look good. They all have their logo. They all look good.
I like unity. I like uniform, which is why when people
Wheeler Yuta, difference. When Wheeler Yuta was with the Best Friends, he was not dressing when he dressed.
I totally forgot about he was in that.
Exactly. There's a difference. But go ahead.
Them niggas was holding him back. But then he took the pin on Dynamite.
Indian Brothers. Also, the booking is on another level. NXT puts time on giving people characters, some stories and arcs before giving them matches.
Yep.
The fact that newcomers Tiffany has some have people excited says a lot.
Listen, and that's why I said, listen, if y'all wasn't fucking with it then before, don't fuck with it now.
So then Randy says, by that virtue, Tony had a head start financially. AEW is a fan service. However, what's the crazy conversation is how Impact bounced back from after their collab with AEW, and since then been putting on better quality TV and
because
matches.
Impact realized that they didn't need anyone else.
Yeah.
Impact found that Impact said, you know what, they're
trying to get Jacob Fatu on
AEW showed they ass to Impact.
I was being nosy one day, but I'll tell you that later.
I hate you. AEW showed they ass to Impact, and Impact said, "You know what? We have to keep stuff in house. We have to.
Impact just need better cameras.
We have to. Yeah. They just they need a better deal to be like on TV. To be honest with you, that's first things first. But then secondly, yes, they need the production of it. Yeah. It still gives very
but okay,
like indie vibes.
The quality of it is not the greatest, but the production is good. Meaning that how that production, how they cut the cameras, how they do everything, the whole production is good. It's the quality of the camera just bad.
I like how they put set when people do back outside of the ring segments. Yeah, that's always my favorite. Oh, Impact does that very well.
Shout out to Savannah Evans going against Trinity.
Yeah.
Woo! Yo, this is why Trinity going to Impact was money. She was on the what's name show, Cheryl something show.
Yeah.
Come on.
Cheryl Shepherd, yeah. Wait, you said Jacob was trying to go where?
Someone said this.
You said Jacob trying to go where?
I'll tell y'all later.
Someone said
Because Jacob got 2 more years on that
naming
contract.
guys from AEW who've been wrestling for 20 plus years. AEW hasn't developed any stars. They're like a CBL. NXT like the NCAA mixed with EuroLeads and G League. That's no excuse.
Sherry Shepherd.
Sorry.
What I said?
That's no excuse.
Oh, okay.
That's no excuse. These guys have been watching wrestling forever. You have great minds who could teach you how to do certain things. Stop using no.
The thing though, and we'll end off.
And the crazy thing about it, Tony Khan's a billionaire. You have no excuse to put on a bad quality product. Presentation wise at all.
I think when we think about it on the financial side, we're like, nigga, figure like you can do better.
Excuse.
But I think on the creative side, because when you have someone that controls but then doesn't listen, it's a recipe for disaster. And that's why I said I can't give him that, like, he don't have people around that can help, because he does. He has people, as you just said, Ralph DeBarge, he has niggas there that's been wrestling for over 20 years. The fact that you can't take constructive criticism from niggas that's in your own camp. How do you expect to be better? How do you expect to do better when you can't even allow the people at your table? That's like us. Oh. That's like if we give advice to each other and it falls on deaf ears. You think we'd be able to last that long?
Start talking to Rolando.
Oh. Well, and we're gonna end the show on that note. Yeah. Once again, this Saturday, Battle Club Pro Do the Fight Thing 2. Our main event will be Yaya versus Calvin Tankman. We also have Alex Kane and MLW coming through. We also have Brian Keefe coming from the dirty south of Texas coming through. So make sure to get those tickets. Once again, we will make a very, very big announcement for Jobber Slam. Jobber Slam will be Saturday, July 29th. So make sure to put that on your calendars. Tickets will go on sale this weekend. Once our announcement drops, those tickets will be active. So make sure to log on and grab your tickets. It's gonna be that summer show you don't want to miss. Okay. Other than that, once again, we'll be back at Legends for Forbidden Door. Next week, we'll give our predictions for Forbidden Door as well. We'll talk a little bit more, because we didn't get to do it this week. We'll talk a little bit more about Money in the Bank and the importance of the winner of the Money in the Bank and who do we think is going to be that forefronter, because the women, I think, still has one more slot left. We'll also talk about Logan Paul coming back. He'll be on Raw this coming week. So that'll be interesting to see what noise he'll make. But other than that, we thank everyone that joined us this morning. We hope you had a nice cup of coffee. But shout out to our homie from India. He said it's 10 o'clock there. So he's up late at night hopefully with a nice little glass of whiskey enjoying the show. But thank you guys so much for tuning in this week. As always, I'm Janelle from HR here with Sir Wilkins and Mr. Black. # Black Excellence. # we are out. Thank you guys for joining us this week. We appreciate you.
Love you guys.
As he got his Hoochie Daddy shorts on. Oh, nice.
I was over, got the hands in motion. If you go a rolling, no need to focus. Traveling states and over oceans. You gotta wait till your coast chosen. Trying to have lines outside the show like Harry Potter releases at Barnes & Noble.